everyone, I'm Bee. Welcome back to Read and Roam. I'm figuring out where I should go on my next adventure, and I found some different destinations online. Check these descriptions out. The old town is like a museum filled with history. This beach is a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. These places sound so exciting, but look at the language closely. Do you think the old town is actually a museum? And are there hidden gems at this beach? What do you think these descriptions really mean? Today, we'll explore expressions like these and learn why authors use them in stories. Before we dive in, let's define two important terms: literal language and figurative language. When text is literal, the words mean exactly what they say. But when something is figurative, the words don't mean exactly what they say. Instead, they go beyond their literal meaning to describe things in a creative way. Check out these sentences. The ocean is blue is literal because it means exactly what it says. But the ocean sparkles like a million tiny diamonds is figurative because there aren't literally a million tiny diamonds in the ocean that make it sparkle. The author has just described it in a creative way. There are many types of figurative language, but today we'll focus on two: similes and metaphors. Check out this sentence. Sarah is as fast as a cheetah. The author mentions Sarah and a cheetah. But is there really a cheetah with Sarah? No, this is figurative language, not literal. So what does the author mean then? The author is comparing Sarah to a cheetah, showing us how fast she is. They could also say Sarah is fast like a cheetah. These types of sentences are called similes. A simile describes something by comparing two things using the words as or like. Now, let's look at another type of figurative language. Check out this sentence. The playground is a jungle full of wild animals. Is the author actually talking about a jungle? Let's think. A playground is an area where children play, and a jungle is a place full of plants and animals. These are very different things that aren't the same. The author is comparing the playground to a jungle. But why a jungle? When you think of a jungle of wild animals, what do you imagine? A calm, quiet scene or a noisy, chaotic one? The author is helping us picture a noisy, chaotic playground by comparing it to a jungle. We picture a playground full of playful, energetic, loud children. This type of sentence is a metaphor. Like a simile, it describes something by comparing two things. But what's the difference? Check out the simile from before. Sarah is as fast as a cheetah. What do you notice? Sarah is as fast as a cheetah. But the metaphor about the playground says the playground is a jungle. That's because a metaphor describes something by comparing two things without using the words like or as. It's a direct comparison that says one thing is another. Now that you know what similes and metaphors are, let's find them in a text. First, I'll read part of a story that contains one simile and one metaphor. Try to spot them. The beach was full of people huddled under beach umbrellas. I sat in the shade, feeling the warm breeze and listening to the ocean. Each crashing wave was a soothing song. The water looked peaceful, so I got up and walked toward it. The sand was hot like lava, burning my feet with every step. As I waded into the sea, I felt refreshed. Now, you're going to find one simile and one metaphor. To find them, here are some tips. Search for sentences where two things are compared Ask yourself, does this sentence mean exactly what it says, or is it figurative? For similes, find the words like and as. And for metaphors, find sentences that say one thing is another. Pause the video here to highlight the simile and underline the metaphor in the text. Did you find them? Let's check. Each crashing wave was a soothing song is a metaphor because it compares the waves to a song without like or as. We know the waves aren't literally songs, it's just a creative way to describe the calming sounds of the ocean. The sand was hot like lava is a simile because it compares the sand to lava using like. The sand isn't really lava, but this comparison helps us imagine how hot it feels. Great work! Now we know what similes and metaphors are and how to find them. But why do authors use them? Why don't they just describe things in a simple, literal way? Let's compare the simile and metaphor we found with simpler versions that use literal language. Here are the original sentences. Each crashing wave was a soothing song, and the sand was hot like lava. And these are simpler versions using literal language. The crashing waves made sounds, and the sand was hot. Which sentences are more exciting to read? The original ones that use figurative language. To help us understand why, think back to my last video where we explored sensory details. We learned how authors use the 5 senses to create vivid imagery and make us feel like we're inside the story. Notice how similes and metaphors work in a similar way? Instead of just stating facts like, the sand is hot, or the crashing waves made sounds, similes and metaphors help readers create vivid imagery or a detailed picture of the scene by comparing familiar things. They make descriptions stronger, more interesting, and easier to remember. Awesome work! Hey, let's go back to those descriptions I found before. Earlier I asked, is the Old Town actually a museum? And are there really gems hidden at this beach? Well, now you know the answer. These descriptions are not literal. They use figurative language to help us picture these places in a more exciting way. The first sentence is a simile because it compares the town to a museum using like. And the second sentence is a metaphor because it directly states the beach is a hidden gem without using like or as. Next time you read a story, see if you can spot similes or metaphors, or try using them in your writing. See you soon, everyone. And remember, where there are words, there's a world to explore. Hey.